Hey guys, it's obviously Saturday, and sorry this video is coming at you again late, but you know we're trying to make things the best that they can be and prioritize some things as well. But hope you guys are having a good Saturday, enjoying the day off from schoolwork, unless you didn't get it all done, in which case you might not have the day off. But if you've been following along with the suggested reading in the devotionals, you know that we've just a few days ago started into the book of John. And starting on Tuesday of this coming week, our devotionals that I'm writing will largely follow along with that reading. Not always, but they will quite a bit. And I wanted to give you some perspective about the Gospel of John and what it's all about. Now, this book was written by the Apostle John. I know that there are several Johns to keep track of in the Bible, like John the Baptist and others. But this is written by the Apostle John, and the Apostle John is known as the disciple who Jesus loved, or John the beloved disciple. And so the Gospel of John is interesting because it is the most unique of the four Gospels. So there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Matthew, Mark, and Luke are what is known as the Synoptic Gospels. And synoptic means, syn means, S-Y-N, means one or together, and optic obviously means like vision. So they have one vision. They share the same point of view, but John's Gospel is unique. It has 90-something% unique material. He doesn't tell the same stories as the other gospel writers tell. They overlap quite a bit, the synoptics do. But John's Gospel, he chooses to tell different stories, and really that's because he has different goals. And so what are the goals of the Gospel of John? Well, it seems first of all that John was focused on presenting Jesus as the Son who reveals the Father. So from the very first chapter, John is focused on the fact that Jesus he calls him the Word. And why does he call him the Word? Because Jesus is the clearest representation we have of who God is. Through the whole Old Testament, there was a lot of misunderstandings about who God was and what he expected of mankind and what he was like. But when Jesus came, we got to see God in the flesh. And what does God expect of us? And what does perfection look like in the eyes of God? And what would God do if he were in my situation? And so Jesus, the Son of God, reveals to us who God is. So we can think of maybe the theme of the book of John being the Son who reveals the Father. And there are a lot of other themes and a lot of other things that are explained about who Jesus is. And as we go through the book, I'm sure we'll talk more about the structure as well and how it's divided up. But there's a second goal that John has that seems unique to the book of John, to the Gospel of John, and that is that John seems to be writing more to evangelize unbelievers than any of the other Gospels. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are all written to believers to clarify for believers, okay, this is what Jesus actually taught, what he actually said, and this is how it changes what we do. Because there are a lot of stories at the times that the Gospels were written. Jesus had been ascended for some time, decades even, and there are a lot of stories about Jesus, and some of them that were being circulated were true, and some weren't true, and some of them were being misapplied. And so the Gospel writers were inspired to clarify the life and teaching of Jesus and what he actually did and said. But John's Gospel seems to be written to unbelievers. And at the end of the book of John, he clarifies, he tells you very clearly why he wrote the book. In John 20, verse 21, John writes, "These are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you may have life in his name." So while the other Gospels are primarily written to clarify the teachings of Jesus for believers, John's Gospel is written to give gospel understanding to people who have never heard. And if you've ever wondered why we hand out as a church John and Romans to people who are unsaved, we have copies of John and Romans with our church logo on it? Well, that's because John's gospel, out of the four gospels, tells the stories of Jesus with the focus of reaching the lost. Not that believers can't benefit. We're going to read it and we're going to benefit. But that's the focus of John's gospel. And of course, we also include Romans because in Romans, Paul clarifies some doctrines about salvation, and that's great too. So as we go through the book of John, if you are reading through it with us, that's great. If you're just reading the devotionals, you're going to get some highlights as well. But as we go through the book, keep that in mind. Keep in mind who wrote it, from what perspective John is coming, and what his goals are as well. And I think you're going to see that fleshed out as we go through the book. A couple of quick reminders. First of all, don't forget to honor your mothers this weekend. I know that all the days might be running together, but on Sunday is Mother's Day. So find something special to do for your mother. I'm not going to give you points for it. It's just something you should do. Moms are so important and we owe them so much. So be sure that you find a way to honor your mom on Mother's Day. And then also don't forget to do your baby picture recreation. Just send us the baby picture and send us a picture of you. And if you can put them together yourself, it's like a side-by-side thing, that's great. Otherwise, we can probably do that for you. But get them to us by tonight at 9 p.m. So if you haven't started and you're watching this video, you need to get going right now to get it done. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys back for a video. I'm not sure if the video is going to come out Monday or Tuesday this coming week, but just keep your ear to the ground and we'll let you know when the next video is going to come out. We'll have 2 videos this week. And thanks so much for your attention. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll talk to you later.